8. Okay, so page 8, okay, as we were saying, oh no, it's frozen. Okay, so page 8,
work.
right? You had to create your history. Okay, so page 8, we're silent now. Here we go. So this is how we left off with the intervals, and then we were counting by ones. So now 1 to 20 had 0. 21 to 40 had 4. 41 to 60 had 6. And 61 to 80 had 6 chances. And 81 to 100 showed up 6 times. And 101 to 120 showed up 6 times. This is what the bar graph, the histogram will look like. Okay, I'm going to move on to page 9. 9 and 10 is going to be another histogram. Okay. Again, you don't have to make these lines and circles and smiley faces. It's totally up to you. I'm going to move it. I put the title up there that we went over before. Okay, let's look at page 9. I'm just going to kind of help you guys out because of time. It's getting late. So 40 to 48, 40 to 44, it shows up 0 times. 45 to 49 shows up 4 times. The numbers 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, when you count it, it shows up 6 times. The number 55 to 59, when you count up here, as Jazzy said, it's 8. A bundle of 5 and 3 more make 8. And then 60 to 64 shows up 6 times. And then 65 to 69 shows up 3 times. And then 70 to 74 showed up 4 times. I'm just going to kind of help you with this. That way you can construct the histogram. So the title of the graph is Daily High Temperatures. And then in degrees Fahrenheit, you can put the degree symbol and an F. Sure. So the title is Temperature, Daily High Temp. In degrees Fahrenheit, you can make that little circle and an F. That stands for degrees Fahrenheit. The x-axis is going to be the interval. The x-axis is always the first line. Right, that's right, Jazzy. And the y is the frequency. So here's what you should have on page 9. Okay, all you had to do is put the numbers, the marks, and answer the 3 questions. Remember, every histogram has a title, an x and y axis. Okay, let's move on to what the histogram will look like on page 10 now. Okay, you're going to do page 11 and 12 on your own. You're going to do 11 and 12 on your own. Okay, so again, the interval is on the x-axis. So we're going to go from intervals 40 to 44. We're going to go 0. We're going to skip a box. So 0, skip, then the interval. And then you just keep writing each interval with 2 boxes in between. 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64. The x-axis is interval. Let me make that darker. Interval is the x-axis. I will text the page that you missed because of internet issues, but because of what happened. But the x-axis is going to say interval. Let me just make it a little darker because I'm sorry I wasn't clear enough. Okay, so it should say interval. Hope that helped you, Kiana. And then you're going to go from 60 to 64, 65 to 69, and 70 to 74. Again, this information came from this page. Okay, so I'm using this page to create this histogram. Okay? So again, there was no numbers between 0, 40, and 44. There were 4 numbers in between 45 and 49. There were 6 numbers in between 50 to 59. Okay, 55 to 59, there were 8. And then in the last interval, 60 to 64, there were, oops, I didn't write it. There were 6. Okay, whatever you need at the end, just send me a message when we're done, and I'll give you whatever you need. Okay. So again, you're going to have to try to practice on your own. So I'm going to tell you what pages you're going to do alone. Okay, those that want to come back to my 11 o'clock class, I think you should. I think it would be beneficial for you. Page 11, you're going to do alone. And page 12, you're going to do alone. So 11 and 12, you're going to write the word alone at the top that I did in parentheses, and you're going to do those on your own. Okay, we're going to do page 13 and 14 now. So I'm going to have somebody read that for me. Okay, I'm going to call someone to read. That person to read is going to be her. Demelisa, can you read for me page 13? Demelisa, can you read me page 13?
Yeah.
Can you turn your camera on, please?
It's not working.
Okay, just read me page 13. What does it say to do for directions, please?
Use the frequency table to complete the diagram below, then answer the questions from the diagram and the data presented. Titled Dogs and Animal Shelter.
Keep going.
Weight and in pounds. 1 to 10, frequency is 2. 11 to 20, frequency is 1. 21 to 30, frequency is 4. 41 to 50, frequency is 5. 51 to 60, frequency is 4. 61 to 70 is 3.
Okay. Now, very simple. We already got the title, Demi, which is Dogs in an Animal Shelter. So what is the x-axis? Is it the weight or the frequency?
The
Demi?
frequency.
Remember it's the first column. The first column is always the x-axis. So what would that be?
Weight in pounds.
Good, which means the y-axis is what?
Frequency.
Excellent. So it's going to look like this. Very simple. The x is the first column, which is the weight in pounds. And the y is the frequency. Okay, very simple. Weight, you can put x and y and go back and finish it later. And move on now to the histogram. All right, so this is what your histogram will look like. Remember, when you make a histogram, you have to be consistent with your counting. So the x-axis is going to have the intervals or the weight of the dogs, because dogs weigh different weights just like people do. So interval 1, we're going to go 0, and we're going to skip a box, and then we're going to have 1 to 10. Then we're going to go 11 to 20. We're going to skip 2 boxes in between, another 2 for 21 to 30 pounds, another 2 for 31 to 40, another one for 41 to 50, and another 51 to 60. And then the last one is 61 to 70. Okay? Now, what you're going to do is once you have this, you're going to look at your frequency. The highest number on the chart was 5. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to tell you how I did it. So it's neat. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I went from 0 to 1. I skipped 3 boxes. I went 0, skip, skip, 1. Skip, skip, 2. Skip, skip, 3. Skip, skip, 4. Skip, skip, 5. Then I'm going to go to this page that I just graphed that was given to you. And I'm going to take the numbers in the frequency and put it on the interval section to make the histogram. So for weight 1 to 10, there were 2 dogs. So I'm going to take the pencil. I'm going to go up to 2 and make a box and put a line. From 11 to 20, I'm going to make a box, put it up to 1. From 21 to 30, I'm going to go up to 4, and I'm going to make the big box, like a bar graph, but all the bars connect now. Same with 31 to 40, I'm going to make a bar. And then I'm going to go 41 to 50, I'm going to go up to 5. Then from 51 to 60, I'm going to go up. And then from 61 to 70, I'm going to go up to 3. And now I have the correct histogram to show the data, which was this page. So this data is represented on this histogram on page 14. Okay, we're almost done. I'm moving it in 3. Remember, you have to have a title, an X and Y axis. If you notice, I put X here, Y. In the chart, the first column on the left is always the X, and the frequency in histograms is the Y. Okay, So you're going to write on page 15 and 16, you're going to write the word alone, because you're going to do that alone because it's an extension. Do not reach out to me, say, I need help. I want you to try it on your own because it's a challenge. Alone, extra credit. Alone, which then you take that information to make this histogram alone. Now, the exit ticket is very straightforward. All you're going to do is organize the numbers from least to greatest. Once you have this, you can answer this page, and then you can make your own histogram on your own. So, does anyone have any questions